This is Columbia's Fox Sports Radio, 1400.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Lawton Swan with you again here on a Wednesday afternoon. And, buddy, am I ever excited because our good buddy Roddy Jones is going to be joining the program here today. A little bit of a surprise for me. I had reached out to Roddy, but he had a lot going on, and he joins us here this afternoon from an airport, no doubt, because he's traveling for football season. Roddy, what's up, man?
Lawton, it is good to catch up with you, man. I have missed our chats. I hope you're well.
Doing great. And I tell you, I think everybody's doing really good with college football on the horizon. Again, we got a matchup tonight, but then it really gets rolling tomorrow. And obviously for our listeners, that Clemson Georgia game is the one that they're talking about. But what's the one for you outside of Clemson and Georgia where you're looking at it going, ooh, man, this is one I cannot wait to dive into?
I think you look at that Wisconsin-Iowa matchup, nationally, that's a really good matchup. Like, Wisconsin was a team that was hit by COVID. I mean, you go back and look at the first game, Graham Mertz was fantastic, but he gets COVID. They have Jack Cohn start for him. So they had a lot going on there. But defensively, it was one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. The other one that's probably in competition for that was Iowa, and they've got everybody back. You could have made an argument by the end of the year that Iowa was the best defense in the country last year. And so I think that's a really good matchup. If you look at our league, like North Carolina, Virginia Tech is going to be a really good one as well. Texas, Louisiana, that's not the most sexy matchup, but Louisiana's a good team. Texas is, we're going to learn a lot about them in the first game under Steve Sarkisian. So there's some really good ones really throughout the country, kind of up and down. Oh, and UCLA, LSU. Like, UCLA is a chic pick to win the Pac-12 South. And then LSU's rebounding from a 500 season. Like, when's the last time LSU went 500? I don't know. But it'll be fascinating to see that one as well. So there's a lot of good matchups this week.
Well, you mentioned Wisconsin as one of the first ones you brought up. And the storyline that I talked about earlier is the fact that former Clemson running back Chez Mellusi is going to be the starter at Wisconsin. And Wisconsin, your former running back, that's a running back school. What does that maybe say? Because I tried to make some kind of connection. You know how we do it in this radio business. What does that say about maybe Clemson's running back room that Mellusi goes to Wisconsin is the guy? And the perception from most people watching the Clemson program will be Mellusi left because of the competition. Now, we can't confirm that 100%. But what would that say about Clemson's running back room if that indeed were the case?
Well, I think it says how Clemson both approaches their running back position and the fact that the talent is so good in that running back position that he wasn't just going to win the job outright. Even if Chez Mellusi was the best running back in that room, was the first one to take the carries, those other guys are good enough where they're going to get carries too. So, like, I don't really blame Chez Mellusi for wanting to be a running back that carries the ball 25 times a game. Because at Clemson, even if he was the first guy, I mean, look at Travis Etienne. There's like 3 or 4 games in his career where he had over 20 carries. And he's the best running back in the country for 3 years. So it's just how Clemson operates. And so when I look at Chez Mellusi, I don't necessarily think that he wasn't going to be the starter. Maybe he was. I don't know. But even if he was, it's a 15 carry a game job, whereas opposed to Wisconsin, you're going and it's a 25 to 30 carry a game job. So I do think it says a lot about the depth that Clemson has, that like we haven't even paid a lot of attention to the fact that Chez Mellusi left. I don't think anybody in Clemson land is very upset over it. Maybe from a depth standpoint, that running back room is loaded, so they're going to be okay.
All right, so they're going up against a stout defensive front, though, in Athens, Georgia. And Kirby Smart is known across the country as being an elite recruiter. But when he's had chances against Alabama in the national championship, against Alabama in the SEC championship game, he's sort of come a little unglued, if you will, in terms of coaching late in those ball games. I mean, how significant of a game is this for him just to kind of come out of it looking like, hey, win, lose, or draw, that they were in it every second with the Clemson Tigers?
I think it is significant towards the perception of this team. I do think, though, like, let's say Georgia goes and wins this game on Saturday. That still doesn't cure them from their ultimate disease, which is the inability to get over Alabama. Which, for whatever reason, not saying Alabama's a better team this year than Clemson, not saying that Alabama's been a better team than Clemson, significantly over the past 3 or 4 years. It's just some teams have your number, and it seems like Georgia is snake bitten against Alabama. They had the national championship game won. It was second down and 26 in overtime when they're up by 3. You have that game won, and Tua comes in and throws a touchdown. That's after Tua brings them back.
Right.
They had them beat in the SEC championship game when Tua was struggling. Jalen Hurts comes in the game and saves them in. So it's just like they're snake bitten against Alabama. So yeah, it's a big one, I think. But I mean, I live in Georgia. I hear the Georgia fans. Even if you beat Clemson, they're still going to be looking over west to Tuscaloosa. Like, okay, we've done it with those guys. So can we do it with them now? Talking about the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Final thing with Roddy Jones here. Make sure you follow him at Roddy Jones 20. And I'm telling you, he squeezed us into his schedule today, and we appreciate it. So, Roddy, I was kind of giving A&M a little bit of grief. I mean, Jimbo Fisher's coached 36 games there. He's lost 10. I know last season was a good year for him. But, man, I wish I could do that kind of job and get a $1.5 million raise. I mean, what am I doing wrong?
You're not coaching Texas A&M. I guess they are just throwing money. He had a 10-year, $75 million contract, and somehow he gets a $1.5 million raise. Here's what I don't understand, Lawton. If you're Texas A&M, why? He's not going anywhere. The jobs aren't open. Why are you giving him this raise? I can't figure it out. I feel like you're bidding against yourself. You're in the third year of a 10-year deal, and like every time the dude wins. Every time he wins 10 games, you're going to give him another raise? I don't understand that, man. I really don't.
Listen, Roddy, if you ever get on the staff and you need just a water boy or something, I can do it. I think I can handle that. I don't know I can do much more. Look, so holler at me.
My dream job is to get one of these head coaching jobs and get fired and just get the buyout.
Me and you both. I'll be your assistant. All right, Roddy. Safe travels, man. Where are you at this week? We got about 30 seconds. Who you working?
Yeah, so on Thursday nights, I'm doing it from Bristol this week. I've got UCF and Boise State, and then Saturday I'm at Pittsburgh. I've got UMass Pitt. So double dipping every week this year.
Awesome. Gus Malzahn there at UCF. We talked about that one earlier. Good luck, buddy, and talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.
Roddy Jones, a drive-by here on the show that shakes us out. All right, we hit a break. I talked a little bit about our schedule wallpapers earlier. I'll show you what they look like when we get back. Stay with us.